In a land marked by pain and hope, a baby was born amid a crisis. Moses, the little one who would change the fate of his people, was about to be saved by a mother's love. In the dead of night, his mother risked everything. With tears in her eyes, she made a basket of reeds and placed Moses in its waters. His future would be decided by these currents. As the basket floated down the Nile River, destiny took an unexpected turn. The Pharaoh's daughter found the baby, and in a magical moment, love overcame the history of the oppressors. Moses grew up in a palace surrounded by luxury, but his connection to his people, the Hebrews, never faded. He had a heart that beat for freedom. One day, while walking through his kingdom, he saw a scene that marked him forever: an Egyptian mistreating a Hebrew. Anger and sadness awakened within him. Impulsive, Moses defended the Hebrew, and in a desperate act, the Egyptian died. Guilt consumed him, and he realized that his place was not among the oppressors. Moses fled to the desert, seeking refuge and peace. There, alone among the hot sands and cold winds, he found the despair and solitude of one searching for his purpose. Years went by, and on an ordinary afternoon, Moses saw something extraordinary: a burning bush that burned but was not consumed. It was a divine calling that resonated within him. God spoke to him, revealing a grand plan. "Go, Moses, free my people." Moses' heart raced. The responsibility was immense, but the desire for freedom still burned. Moses hesitated, feeling small before the mission. "Who am I to face Pharaoh?" The voice of God echoed, "I will be with you. You are not alone." Reluctantly, Moses returned to Egypt, determined to free the Hebrews. Each step was weighed down by doubt, but his heart pulsed with the courage he sought. When he presented himself to the Pharaoh, the words came out fragmented, but Moses' determination grew. "Let my people go, they need freedom." His voice rose, echoing the pain of the oppressed. The Pharaoh, arrogant and indifferent, refused. The struggle was just beginning. But Moses would not give up. He would become an instrument of God, and the battle for freedom would intensify. God sent plagues, each one more devastating than the last. Mosquitoes, frogs, and even darkness. The Pharaoh resisted, but the pain and loss began to touch his heart. Finally, the last plague arrived, and the night was marked by wailing. The Hebrews, with faith, marked their doors with the blood of lambs, a sign of protection and hope. Freedom was just a few steps away. The Pharaoh, tormented, finally conceded. The path to redemption had a price, but the strength of the people was unbreakable. Moses led the Hebrews out of Egypt, their hearts beating as one. The desert awaited them, but there were no more chains, only the hope of a new home. But the journey would not be easy. Before the Red Sea, they turned around fearful. The Pharaoh's army was right behind them. Despair or fear could take over. Moses raised the rod and cried out to the Lord. The waters parted, creating a way. It was a fulfilled promise. Like a miracle, freedom was within reach. The Hebrews crossed, free from the chains of Egypt. When the Pharaoh's army followed them, the waters returned, sealing their freedom with an act of divine devotion. On the other side, they celebrated. Songs and dances echoed under the stars. They were not only applauding the victory, but the new life that was emerging in their hearts. But the trials were far from over. In the desert, doubt and lack of faith arose. Why don't we go back to Egypt? Fear tried to suffocate hope. Moses, with a heavy heart, sought answers. He climbed Mount Sinai and had a revelation. God delivered the commandments, a guide for the new life. The commandments were not rules, but promises of love and protection. Freedom brought responsibilities, and the people needed to know how to live in true communion. With courage and determination, Moses descended from the mountain. He knew that their journey was just beginning. Each challenge would be an opportunity to grow and come together. The people of Israel learned about faith and resilience. Every step on the sand was an affirmation of a new life, full of hope and full of promises of a better future. Moses, with his leadership, became a symbol of courage. He was not just a man, but the voice of a distressed people in search of their own identity. Thus, the story of Moses continues to resonate. The struggle for freedom, the love that overcomes barriers, and the courage that shines in the darkness, all of this lives within each of us. The story is not just about a man, but about the human condition, the search for identity, for love, and for freedom. And thus, Moses becomes eternal. With each generation, history will inspire brave hearts. May the story of Moses be a reminder: we are all part of a great journey in pursuit of freedom.